A very good morning from Arlington, Virginia. There is the Capitol building, and there is the Washington Monument. I'm just across the Potomac River, and I'm in the Arlington National Cemetery, which is the final resting place for generations of servicemen and women, many of whom lost their lives in World War I, World War II, Korean War, Civil War. And there are specifically a couple of very interesting graves that I wanted to show you guys today. So let's go check it out. I have a couple hours before my flight, and this is pretty close to the airport, so let's do it quickly. Very, very peaceful around here. So, there are two Jewish women who are buried in the cemetery, who both, in their own right, were absolute lamplighters, visionaries, and they made a massive impact in the future of this country. So, let's go check them out. In 1978, NASA selected its first ever class of women astronauts to go into space. In 1984, Judith Resnik became the first Jewish American, the second Jewish person, and the second American woman to ever go into space. She was an electrical engineer, and sadly, on her second flight into space in 1986, on the Space Shuttle Challenger, it exploded shortly after takeoff, and all on board perished. She is buried here in Arlington National Cemetery. So let's go pay a visit to her grave and pay some respects. And here she lies. In grateful and loving tribute to the brave crew of the United States Space Shuttle Challenger, 28th of January 1986. Judith Resnik, Mission Specialist. In 1933, Hitler was becoming Chancellor of Germany. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the President of the United States. And a little girl called Ruth was born in Brooklyn. She ended up becoming a lawyer and became the first Jewish woman to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States. She was a fierce activist for gender equality, fighting for the rights of women and civil rights up until the end. Of course, I'm talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, buried here next to her husband. She passed away on September 18th, 2020. And she is the second Jewish woman in this cemetery who was an absolute powerhouse, visionary, pioneer in her field. So I've come here to pay my respects to her. In 1921, the body of an unknown US soldier who had died in France in World War I was transferred to the United States and buried here in Arlington Cemetery in Virginia. No one knew who he was, and his burial represented all those soldiers who had perished, who remained unidentified. Over the years, other soldiers were added to this tomb from World War II, Vietnam, the Korean War, and this is definitely one of the most revered tombs and grave sites in the United States. So let's go pay our respects to the tomb of the unknown soldier. The tomb is guarded around the clock, never left alone. People sit in silence, in respect. Unlike in many other military cemeteries where the plots are segregated by religion, they don't do that over here. So here you have Christians lying aside, Jews, so on and so forth, as far as the eye can see. They fought together, they died together, and now they rest together. At the crest of the hill is the former home of Robert E. Lee. This home was actually built by George Washington's step-grandson, but eventually fell into the hands of Robert E. Lee, who famously was the general of the Confederates, who waged war against the United States in an effort to protect what they said was states' rights, but more notoriously was the institution of slavery. He obviously lost that war, and the United States turned his back garden into a cemetery for its soldiers, and the ultimate act of revenge. In the shadow of Robert E. Lee's home, a man who fought to deny civil rights, lay the remains of a president who fought so hard for civil rights, John F. Kennedy, 35th President of the United States, first Catholic president. At the time he was the youngest ever person elected president. Lies next to his wife Jackie. He didn't even serve one term, and he's ranked as one of the best presidents. Here lies John F. Kennedy. The 27th President of the United States was William Howard Taft. He is the only person to be President and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. He built the Oval Office. He served right after Teddy Roosevelt. And here he lies in Arlington with his wife.